Inflation refers to the rate at which the general level of price for goods and services rise, eroding purchasing power over time. It is typically measured by the Consumer Price Index (CPI) or the Producer Price Index (PPI). Inflation can be driven by various factors, including increased demand for goods and services, higher for production costs, or expansionary monetary policies. It affects not only the cost of living but also the value of money, saving, and investment. Household consumption, also known as consumer spending, it is the total expenditure by the household on goods and services within a specific period. It includes spending on necessities such as food, housing, clothing, and discretionary items like entertainment and luxury goods. Household consumption is a crucial component of gross domestic product (GDP), often accounting for the largest share of economic activity in many countries. It reflects the living standard and economic confidence of the population.
The COVID-19 pandemic in Malaysia has significantly impacted the economy, leading to a depreciation of the Malaysian ringgit and a decline in the gross domestic product. The outbreak has adversely affected key sectors such as entertainment markets, retail, hospitality, and tourism. The devaluation of Malaysian ringgit had literally led to inflation in Malaysia. These few years, traders and consumers in Malaysia were complaining about the rising prices for fresh goods. They attributed the increase to higher operating costs such as transportation and supply chain expenses. The price hikes have significantly affected items like fish, vegetables, and chicken, leading to concerns about the cost of living. Consumers in Malaysia are struggling with high prices for goods despite efforts to be thrifty. Many report that they have cut back on spending as much as possible, but the cost of essentials remains unaffordable. The situation has caused widespread frustration and concern about the increasing cost of living. In fact, although Malaysia's inflation rate remains steady at 1.8% in April 2024 for the third consecutive month, however, the monthly inflation rate increased by 0.2% from March 0.1%. The increase was mainly driven by personal care, social protection, and miscellaneous goods and services, recreation, sport and culture, and restaurant and accommodation services. What makes things even worse is the proposal of MSM Malaysia Holdings Berhad to revise the ceiling price for both coarse and refined sugars per kilogram. This company suggested that the ceiling price of coarse sugar should be increased from 2 ringgit 85 cent to 3 ringgit 85 cent per kilogram. The inflation rate in Malaysia is expected to increase if the price of sugar rises.
As we know, inflation refers to the general increase in price of goods and services over time. It can be influenced by various factors including demand pull inflations, occur when aggregate demand in an economy outpaces aggregate supply. This can be illustrated using the demand and supply curve. Two of them is demand curve shift, an increase in consumer spending. Shift the demand curve to the right, leading to the higher price. And then the supply curve shift. If the supply remains constant and the demand increase, price rise cause the inflation. Demand pull inflation arises when household consumption increases significantly, driving up demand for goods and services. As demand exceeds supplies, price rises, leading to inflation. This type of inflation is often seen in strong economies with consumer confidence and spending on high. Second is the cost push deflation. Occur when the cost of production increases, leading to a decrease in aggregate supply. Supply curve shift when an increase in production costs, such as wages, raw material, shift the supply curve to the left, raising prices. Cost push inflation today results from increased production costs, such as higher wage or raw material price, leading businesses to raise price. This rising costs reduce household purchasing power as the consumer face higher price for essential goods and services, thereby affecting overall consumption patterns. Third is built-in inflations, linked to adaptive expectation, where businesses and consumers expect future inflation and adjust their behavior accordingly. Built-in inflation to distinct from a cycle where rising household consumption and wage leads to higher production costs, which businesses on a price increase. This wage price will continue as the worker demand higher wage to keep up with living costs, perpetuating inflation in the economy.
I can say it has badly affect our purchasing power. Our daily expenses has increased a lot. Our household budget also tightened. Therefore, we actually have to spend wisely and control our budget. Groceries and food item. Okay, a plate of rice or noodles, it increased from maybe 6 ringgit to now about 10 ringgit per plate. The ingredients that you bought also, the price increased. I think the electricity bill, the utilities also increased. Actually, medical fees has been increasing and it causes the insurance fees increase. The worst part is actually because the essential products price has been increased a lot. I would say on those medium income people, okay, or even myself, I will shift to substitute brand. Okay, I'll compare the price, then cut back on luxury products because of the exchange rate also, and then the price of the luxury products I think increased a lot. Switch to online purchase. People want to try to save costs, and sometimes we have thinking that online store they don't have to pay rental. Therefore, maybe the prices of the items price cheaper than you buy from the shops. Then we need to do a good financial planning, try to cut down the overall expenses. A lot of policies it can be done by the government. Maybe government can increase the interest rate. People will tend to save more. They reduce the over demand in the market. If the demand slow down, it will help to reduce the inflation because demand less than supply. Subsidies on essential products, price control, maybe some regulation on they impose some price control on certain items, especially essential goods. Due to some uncertainties like the fuel price, implement of e-invoicing, increasing of tax, the service tax from 6 to 8%, the inflation will increase if our government don't take action to control the situation. Maybe more platform will come out. Consumer will be more price sensitive.
Moving on would be the ways to overcome inflation in Malaysia. The Bank Negara Malaysia should increase interest rates, making borrowing more expensive. This would reduce spending and investment, lowering inflation. Next, they should set clear inflation targets to help guide public expectations and policy decisions, maintaining stability. The Malaysian government, on the other hand, should gradually remove subsidies but accompany them with measures to protect the vulnerable groups. The government should strengthen market regulation and monitoring to prevent profiteering and monopolistic practices that can lead to higher prices. Next, consumers can influence the market prices by being more price sensitive and seeking value for money. This will cause the demand for high-cost items to decrease, forcing suppliers to adjust their prices. International organizations like the International Monetary Fund (IMF) and the World Bank can provide policy advice, technical assistance, and financial support to help Malaysia implement effective inflation control measures. Sharing international best practices and conducting research can help Malaysia adopt innovative solutions to manage the situation.
Understanding the interplay between inflation and household consumption is crucial for comprehending both the economic dynamic and individual financial well-being. Inflation, driven by factors such as increased demand and higher production costs, erodes purchasing power and affect the cost of living. Household consumption, which is a major component of GDP, reflect economic confidence and living standard. The recent moderate inflation in Malaysia, driven by both domestic and external factors, has led to significant adjustment in household spending pattern. Emphasizing the need for effective fiscal and monetary policies by managing inflation to strategic government policies and encouraging consumer financial literacy, Malaysia can better navigate economic challenge and enhance overall economic stability.